For the 250th anniversary of the United States, Virginia has released the Virginia 250 Passport Book to help you track over 70 historic sites throughout the state. Today, we are visiting Gadsby's Tavern. Located on the corner of North Royal and Cameron Street in the heart of Old Town Alexandria, Gadsby's Tavern is actually two buildings standing side by side. The smaller structure to the right was built around 1785. The larger one, the City Tavern and Hotel, was added in 1792, just as Alexandria was booming as a port city on the Potomac. Together, they formed a social and economic and political heartbeat of this growing Virginia town. And the man who made them famous, an English immigrant named John Gadsby, who leased and operated both from 1796 to 1808. And during those 12 years, this tavern became the finest inn between Philadelphia and Charleston, and the guest list reads like a first draft of American history. George Washington was a regular. He celebrated his last two birthdays here, attending the annual Birthright Ball both in 1798 and 1799. Thomas Jefferson held a banquet in the ballroom upstairs honoring his 1801 inauguration. And John Adams, James Madison, James Monroe, and even the Marquis de Lafayette all walked through this door. But here's what they don't put on the souvenir mugs. All of that renowned hospitality was made possible by a large enslaved labor force who worked in the kitchens and the rear courtyard. By the early 20th century, this landmark had fallen into complete disrepair. The ballroom's exquisite woodwork, the musicians' gallery, the mantelpieces, the cornice was sold to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, where it's still on display today in their American wing, and the buildings were nearly demolished. But in 1929, the American Legion Post 24 stepped in, bought the property, and began a meticulous restoration. In 1972, the Legion donated the site to the city of Alexandria, and in 1976, just in time for America's bicentennial, Gadsby's Tavern opened its doors. Today, Gadsby's Tavern is a National Historic Landmark, both living museum and working restaurant. You can still dine in the same room when Washington raised his glass. And if you're lucky, you might just catch a whiff of rose perfume in the hallway from a mysterious stranger who still lingers the halls. In October of 1816, 8 years after Gadsby left for Baltimore, a well-dressed couple arrived by ship. The woman was gravely ill, and her husband paid generously, but made one strange demand. No one was to ask their names, ever. The woman died weeks later in what is now called Room 8. Her husband swore the doctor and staff to secrecy, commissioned an elaborate tombstone in St. Paul's Cemetery, and then vanished, never to be seen again. The grave marker simply reads, "To the memory of a female stranger." To this day, nobody knows who she was. Some say she was Theodosia Burr, Aaron Burr's daughter. Others believe she was a noblewoman fleeing scandal, but her ghost is said to haunt Room 8 to this very hour.